Hey, I'm Gus Jeffers, and I'm here with Dantes, Birdie, and Jim on Cross the Street.
It's on the horizon, so I'll just keep smiling. The sun isn't shining, but I know that this won't last forever. A change in the weather, it's gonna get better.
Birdie Lee, we are here today at Back to the Basket with our good friend Gus Jeffers. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're doing great. This is an exciting moment for here on Across the Street. We've been trying to line this one up for a little bit. You have been on fire, young man. You have been blazing the scene here, it seems like, in impressive fashion. Just performed at the Oregon State Fair?
Yeah, I did the Oregon. I think I did Washington Fair, and then I did the Oregon Country Fair.
The Oregon Country Fair. How was that?
It was fun. They were both fun. Yeah.
Live music? I saw you had a live band over there.
I've been working with like amazing musicians. Like the drummer went to MIT, and then the keyboard player Aiden Saylor and Cameron Ray, Marvin. They're all amazing musicians. Yeah.
How's that been transitioning to live music? Has that been a lot more fun?
It's fun because you can just kind of experiment and do what you want. Cause it's stress free basically, because they know what they're doing and they're all great.
We're listening to the music today. What I was trying to get at is that you're a very old soul. You're only 13 years old currently.
14.
14
I just
years
turned
old.
14 on June 21st.
Okay.
Ooh, happy birthday then.
Thank you.
How do you find the inspiration for these love songs, if you will, that are so woo?
I love it.
I don't know. There's not like. It's just kind of how I'm feeling. A lot of times it just comes out like that. I don't think I've really written one about somebody yet, but sometimes you just write stuff in the studio, so it's kind of just what comes out, you know?
Yeah, it just comes to you.
Bertie, there's a video of him performing live on Instagram, and out of nowhere, there's a front row of middle-aged women just freaking out.
Oh my goodness. I got the pleasure to see him at one of the FIA's events, and oh my gosh, I was in the back of the room like, wow. I was like dancing and like twirling. Like I was so excited. Like, who is this? And why have I just got to see him now? Like everything happens for a reason. It's almost perfect timing because you're kind of like blooming in society right now. And I just love that. So what really inspired you, especially at a young age?
I guess just inspired me to do music in general. Is that okay? So I guess just what inspired me to do music is my dad was always singing when I grew up, and my grandma was a piano player, but it was really just big artists that I was seeing. Like Bruno Mars was a big inspiration.
Oh, I love Bruno.
I got to see he was my first ever concert. I got to see Silk Sonic.
Oh, that's dope.
Wow.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
And then like Usher walked in. But at the time I didn't know who Usher was, or I knew, but I didn't really know. But now I do, so it's all good. But he just like walked in. He was probably like 30 feet from us. It was pretty
Wow.
Bertie, Gus is a big fan of the sneakers as well. Bertie has an immense sneaker collection. Quite the sneaker collection.
So many. I literally lost count. Like
cool.
I
Oh, this
can't
is
even
where I
count
get
it.
all my shoes. Back to the basket.
Let's tap in with the guys here Back to the Basket.
What's up, man?
Thanks first of all for allowing us to use your space here today.
Of course.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about Back to the Basket and what you have to offer here?
Man, so Back to the Basket, we're like all basketball, right?
Yes,
There's a lot of like stores that are open that are like vintage and they do everything, all sports. And then there's hype stores where they do like $1,000 hoodies and crazy stuff like that. Where we like specialize is vintage and basketball. So it's like we're the only store in the world when it comes to just strictly basketball, and we're like bridging the gap between like new school and old school, because the old school you come in, you know, you remember all this stuff from your childhood, and then the new school is like all the sneakers and stuff that we have. So any age can come in here and have a common bond and have a good time. So that's why we're here, man.
That's what we
do.
I got one. I bought one.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
I got a custom coaster. They got me. They got
Even
me.
stuff like that, man. Like that's like what's cool about us is like, so these are old cards from the 90s. And then so there's a local guy named Travis, right?
Yep,
My
it's
boy
Travis.
Travis Scott, of course. But he turns these old cards into coasters. And so he just takes an old, like, obsolete item and turns it into something useful nowadays. But yeah, he kills it, and just like little like quirky stuff like this is like what we really love, because there's not a lot of shops that have stuff like this.
Why don't you give us your hours of operation and where our people can find you?
Yeah, so Back to the Basket anywhere and everywhere, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and then 11 to 7 every day, and then 11 to 5 on Sundays. Yeah, and then shop online, backtothebasket.com.
Let's bring it in right here, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Back to the
Let's
basket
go.
on three.
Back to the
1, 2,
basket.
3.
Back to the basket.
All right.
Let's go.
Yes,
And
Bird Bennett, he always dresses me. He knows all the sizes, so he always points me in the right direction, and he gets me super fitted. I love it.
we have our special guest correspondent today. Birdie's going to do the official passing of the baton here.
Oh,
Dantes, our special guest reporter, has a couple questions set up for Mr. Jeffers himself. So as part of that, the floor is yours, my friend.
So, Mr. Jeffers, what got you to play music?
I mean, I guess what got me into music and to play music was kind of just my inspirations around me. Like I said before, my grandma, my dad, Bruno Mars, kind of all those other people. But I just kind of enjoy it because that's what I enjoy, I guess. Yeah. That's kind of what got me into it, though.
Very interesting. Now, who taught you to play?
I have a lot of lessons. So I have Ivan. He taught me guitar. I have Dorcas for vocal lessons. And then I don't work with him at the moment, but he taught me how to play drums. But I kind of have like a whole team around me that's kind of helping me keep progressing in my musical abilities, just besides my voice.
Very interesting. Now, what is your advice for younger people just now getting into the musical world?
I would say just go for it, because if you never try, you'll never know. So just go for it.
Who are your influencers?
My influences, who I see, probably I like Justin Timberlake, I like Usher, I like Bieber, Bruno Mars. Those are my main influences.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
what is your favorite dance to do? Because I heard you be doing a little bit of dancing.
I like a lot of the, why am I blanking on this? I haven't done them in a while, but they're not slides, but they're like these ones. Like
Can you show us a little bit?
I don't know.
He's really good at
I'm
dancing,
a little rusty. I haven't done it in a while. It's just like this.
Okay,
But
slide it.
I haven't danced in a long time. Or not in a long time, but I kind of need to
What about you?
keep
You got
taking lessons.
Some moves to show him.
Not right now.
Not right now. No, I was put on the spot too. It's okay.
How many songs have you made this past few months?
It's a lot. I just keep writing every like night. I'll just try and write a new song. So I don't even know. Probably.
I've seen you have recently had some lessons. You've been studio lessons. It looks like.
Oh yeah, I've been having studio lessons with Rain Ezra. She's amazing. Check her out. And then I've been working with my producers, so I learn a lot from them too. But those are that's.
Big ups to Rain Ezra, one of our favorite people on the show. She throws some outstanding events. If you get the opportunity to work with her, I highly suggest that you do. Some great events.
I've been working with her for a while, so
Great.
I'm locked in with her. But she's amazing.
Well, thank you so much for helping us out today, Dantes. We really appreciate
thank you.
That was super cool.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
All right, Bernie, back to you. Yeah, so as part of that learning, what have you been learning actually in the studio then there? What have you been...
I've been learning like my recording process at home and just production stuff for the music side. Like when I first started with my producers, it was just they were making the music and then we were co-writing, but now it's like on a song that's coming out later, I was part of the production on that. So I kind of helped them with that in the studio. and that's kind of what I've been learning with that side of stuff.
Birdie made a few songs recently. She started
Did
to
you?
dabble a little bit into music.
Oh yes.
She's our big dancer, but every now and then she dabbles in some music. What have you learned recently, Birdie?
I've learned, you gotta make it your own. You can't be, I know a lot of people like kind of influence us and like we get our passion from and we like kind of thrive from it. But oh my gosh, I've had to just kind of like make it my own, like make sure I don't like think of anyone else while I'm doing it, like I have to go for the soul, start from your heart. And yeah, like I'm coming up with like a huge production coming for my music video.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I would love for you guys to join. It's about dancing and doing the cha-cha-cha. Like if you can't dance, then at least you can like, hit up the cha-cha-cha.
If you watch our show enough, we do bring everybody a gift. As part of that, I thought about myself as a 14-year-old boy, and I thought, well, this is probably older than you are. Here is flip that around. There is a box of cereal. Like they even have one here at back to the basket. I noticed that theirs doesn't contain the cereal. This one actually has some 30-year-old cereal
That's
for
crazy.
you. So you can keep that for the next 30 years of your life.
I wouldn't advise eating it.
Yeah. Don't advise at all to eat this, but it looks really good. Feel how heavy this is. Just feel the weight of that.
Oh, this is like,
Yeah, and it's-
most cereal does not feel like
says-
this now.
it's
It's,
like
it's
the-
very light now.
Yeah,
That
it's
was
the most
expired
expensive.
in 1994.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So that's 30 years ago.
$50 for this is the most expensive whole grain cereal I've
If
ever
you were a
seen.
14-year-old boy my age too, you would have had one of these. You know what that is, Gus?
A VCR, right?
It's a cassette tape.
Cassette tape. I'm sorry.
So you would put that in your Walkman, and you could
I-
record like mixtapes for your girlfriend and send it to her.
Oh my gosh, that is so. I haven't even seen one of those for a while.
I think I've seen these at my grandma's. That's what I've seen them at.
Well, now you have one for your own collection.
Thank
I'll have
you.
those for you while you wait. I guess one of the last questions we'll go in closing here. You mentioned like Bruno Mars, Justin Bieber. How do you feel about the comparison? I know you're early in your musical stage, but how do you feel about when someone says he's Bieber-esque or Bruno Mars-esque?
I mean, kind of something that you were saying before we got started. You're like it's amazing to be compared to somebody like of that level of greatness and just musical talent in general. So I like to lean into it, but I also want to do my own thing.
Yeah.
Because what I was also saying is, yeah, I want to do my own thing, but it's great to be compared to that, and I definitely want to lean into it. But having my own thing going is cool too.
I often say on my program, the reason there's 1,000 names in movie credits is because it takes 1,000 people to make a movie. How is your movie credits looking? I know you work very closely with the momager, who does a great job. Is that how you're doing all your booking? Is currently like that through moms? You guys work it out? Or?
Through my mom. I had like 4 shows in 2 days. A little bit like I think that was last weekend's, but I try and keep a pretty like tight circle, but basically like because what my team I guess it's not tight, but it's like I know everybody really well in that circle. So it's like I have Rain, I have my 2 songwriting coaches, I have my 2 producers, I have this record promoter I work with, and then I have my band, and that's kind of like that's my main team that I'm working with. But then again, everybody else I also work with too. But if I go talking about my main like people I work with, my core group, I guess that's who that is.
So you got a nice little 5 names on that credit list so far?
So far, but
Yeah.
it keeps building.
There you go, yeah.
Have you ever thought about doing a collab with anyone or anyone that you want on your song?
Just probably, I don't know. I want to do something with Bieber or Kid Laroi. I think Kid Laroi is really cool.
Okay.
How about Rain? Anything set up with Rain possibly?
Not yet, but I think we were doing this little beat challenge where I was gonna make something, then she was gonna sing on it. I like sampled her ukulele, and then I like made a beat out of that.
Yeah, you guys should do the stair, like when they're in the stair closet. And
Oh, I've seen her do that.
Oh my god, I love when she does that. It just sounds so like whole, like you can like feel it through the phone.
So did she get you on the Fall Fest or Spring Fest events coming up with Rain?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Maybe I'd have to ask my mom, but I'm not sure right now.
Well, we'll press her about that too.
Okay.
Yes.
That was one of our favorite shows at Team Across the Street. Spring Fest and Fall Fest that Rain put together. Fantastic.
They're
time.
so good.
Fantastic.
They're
time.
like, she really thinks about every little thing. And she has great volunteers that help out with that.
Yeah, she's amazing.
We ran through about 15 minutes or so. We'll give you the last couple minutes here. Do you want to give any special love, shout outs, PSAs on the way out of here before we wrap this up?
I want to give a shout out to my mom,
Woo.
Kelly Jeffers. She like.
Go.
I want to give a shout out to everyone at Back to the Basket, Jalen,
Yes.
Sean. And then I want to give a shout out to Rain, to Caitlin, Gabriel, Ryan, Aaron, Gio. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody, but yeah.
You did. I guarantee it.
I know, I probably did. I definitely did.
Well, I guess that about wraps up. If there's anything we can do for you in the future, you just let us know. We'll do
Okay.
our best to get in touch with you there and make that happen. I guess until then, let's bring it on. So let's go back to the basket again on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Back to the basket. Cheers.